How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Superpower Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing this guy.
I am very turned on right now. You may be wondering why the red suit. Well, that's so bad guys can't see me bleed.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what is a gigantic quarter scale box. Standard NECA, of course. This is the Epic Marvel Deadpool window box, as all the NECA figures are. If we go ahead and scan around to the side, we have two images of Deadpool in different poses and an image of his weapon arsenal. Spinning around to the back, if you want to go ahead and pause this right here, you can read all the information on here. There's a lot to take in on this back panel, really nice artwork on there. Spinning around to this side, a few more images of Deadpool in different poses. Kind of gives you ideas of what you can do with him. Something like this, more dynamic, obviously you'd have to have some type of stand. Okay, so now that we have him out of the outer box, I do want to mention one thing. I'm not a huge fan of the NECA window boxes, and let me tell you why. All of this plastic holding all of these accessories in are glued to the side of the box. Multiple wire ties that have to be cut to take Deadpool out of the box. It's a lot of work just to remove him from this box, unlike something like a Hot Toys figure where you lift the lid, pull the piece of foam out, and there's your figure. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove him from this inner box, and I will be right back. Okay, now we have the NECA quarter scale Deadpool out of the box. But before we go over all the details on the figure, what we're going to do is go over all the accessories right here that he comes with, and there are a lot of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at all the accessories that comes with Deadpool. We'll start with the hands first. All of the hands have a very nice distressed, detailed look to them. The brass knuckles, the Deadpool logo on the top of the hand. It comes with the 3 closed fists. These are slightly relaxed closed fists. We have the fully closed fist on the end, and of course, we have the infamous Deadpool devil horns. Now moving on to the weapons, you have a very nicely detailed sai. Has the Deadpool logo right on the end of it, if we can focus on that. A nice wrap around the handle, silver finish. His dagger, red and silver. You have the infamous Deadpool gun. Very nicely detailed. There are no moving parts on this gun, as with some figures, but it still has a lot of detail to it. Okay, so this is one that I really love. This one has tons of detail on it, and a couple cool little features. If you look closely there, scrolled on there, it says Deadpool's gun, and at the front, this end toward enemy. That's pretty cool. Okay, next we have the largest of his guns. This is his sniper rifle. As you can see, it does have a magazine attached to the bottom of it, a double magazine actually, and that does come out. Lots of detail in that, as with all the other weapons. And of course, the final weapon is Deadpool's famous katanas. Wouldn't be Deadpool without his katanas. Now, as with all the other weapons, there's tons of detail in these as well. You can see the engraving on the blade itself. You can see the leather wrap on the handle, the Deadpool logo on the hilt. Very, very nice katanas. And finally, of course, to hold his katanas, he has his well-known cross sheaths for the katanas. They slide in there just like that. Okay, so that's it for all the accessories that come with Deadpool. Now what we're going to do next is I'll go over the articulation of the figure itself. I won't spend too much time on that because there are a lot of videos on the articulations, so I'm going to move on to adding the accessories to the figure. As I said before, the details put into the figure, the straps on the holster for the knife itself, the straps around the wrist, the elbow pads, the knee pads, the distressing, the paintwork, the sculpt, everything about it, on and on and on I could go telling you how awesome this figure is. But you can see it for yourself. Now let's go ahead and do a close-up on different areas of the figure, and you'll see just what I'm talking about. Okay, so I won't spend too much time on the articulation. We all know how that works. Let's just look at some of the details, because that's what impresses me the most about this. Everything from his holster to his pouches on his belt, pouches on the legs, the holster that holds his gun. I mean, there's just so much detail added on here. This is a holster for the dagger, which I'll show you in a moment. The knee pads, the distressing, and the black wash that's on the uniform, if you look at the texture on all the red, it's just very fine detail. It's very impressive. Alright, now as far as the articulation goes, he does have 33 points of articulation. The standard articulation points that you would expect. His arms, one thing about these figures is they do have very noisy joints, as you can hear. They're very stiff joints. With the NECA figures, you'll either get a loose joint or a really tight joint. In this case, all of his joints are fairly tight. He does have a pretty good waist tilt. Does have the ab crunch. Now, one thing about the NECA statues that I did notice, and especially apparent on this Deadpool, is when you widen the legs, there is a severe gap between the leg, between the thigh. And it becomes very obvious because of the different color red inside there. Now you can hear the crunching sound when I do that. That's one thing I've never really been a fan of as well. The crackling and the crunching sound that comes along with figures like this and joints like this. Okay, as far as measurements go, from the feet up to the top of the katanas, we're looking at about just under 19 inches. And of course, from the feet to the top of the head, the standard NECA 18 inches. Overall, I'm really impressed with the detail, the sculpting, the paint. Everything on this is absolutely first class. Okay, and that is going to wrap up this review of the NECA Epic Marvel Deadpool quarter scale figure. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.
I am very turned on right now.